Okay, today I'm going to make jjajangmyeon. Some of you longtime subscribers may know I've already done a video of this once before, but I really didn't measure everything very carefully. The video quality was so-so. Anyway, I'm hoping to improve upon that. I've got some pork belly here, as you can see. I went to H Mart. Now, this is a really good sauce that you can make up a large batch and freeze it and all that stuff, but I don't really have that need because I'll be traveling here real soon, so I'm just going to make an individual serving. But all you have to do is multiply what I do today, this recipe, by how many servings you want. This package is just over a pound of pork belly, and I want a quarter pound of pork belly for my sauce today. And I'm just going to kind of estimate roughly a quarter pound of pork belly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dice this up. This should be perfect right here. Put that in the bowl. Now on your dicing, you want everything to be basically the same size. We're going to dice pork, onion, and squash. Anyway, I'm going to finish dicing up this pork belly. Okay, onion. I've already cut this one in half. Remember, I want my pieces to be about the same size as my pork belly. And we're going to want about the same volume. Not by weight, but by volume. Pretty close there, not quite there, getting close. Now, I'm going to want some of this to serve. We're going to want these pieces to be a little bit bigger, about like that. These are going to be served at the table. Time to do my laundry. Okay, laundry is in the dryer, so that's a big accomplishment for today. I'll take a squash. Now, I'm using this kind of squash, but you can use a zucchini. It's all good. Basically, same thing. We want to cut this into pieces that are about the same size as our other cubes. We want about the same volume. This little bitty cutting board is not really fun to work with, but it'll get the job done. Okay, green onion. I need one, but I want to make sure I get this into pretty small pieces. Cutting this along at an angle, pretty close together. Don't want to go all the way through. I want to go just over half. Now, I need to cut it at a different angle. Because what I want this green onion to basically dissolve into the sauce. I don't want anybody to go, oh look, green onion. But I want the flavor from it. Now, let's slice this up. See how that's all just falling apart? That's what I'm looking for. we'll use the green tops for something else later. But see how this is all just basically dissolved in almost nothing? We're going to put that on the pork. Put this aside. Bring our pork over here. I got half a teaspoon of garlic. I want about half a teaspoon of ginger. That ought to be enough. Put a little bit of soy sauce on here. Oop. Brand new bottle. Probably got a safety deal in there. Yeah, it does. Alright, got the safety thing out. Put a little soy sauce on the pork. Give this a mix. We're getting close to being ready to cook. Alright, let's go ahead and finish up our garnishes and stuff. Anyway, this is going to be served with our onion on the plate with our onions. Daikon. It's a pickled daikon radish. Bright yellow. Kind of pretty. And all we're going to do is we're going to cut that in half. And now we're going to slice this into half moons. We'll continue laying those out, slicing that up. And then also on the plate, we're going to put a little bit of our black bean sauce. Okay, I got a cucumber here. And my light's getting out of the way. Essentially what I want is I want the skin from the cucumber. I don't really want the cucumber itself, I want the skin. Get a little bit of the meat, that's okay. Looks like my cucumber was getting cold in the refrigerator. Let's see now, and I'm going to cut this into strips, real thin. And that's going to be for garnish on top of our noodles. Okay, we're getting ready to start making our sauce. Got a couple things going on here. Got my pan heating up just a little bit. What we're going to do, go ahead and we're going to put a little oil in here. When that gets hot, we'll add our pork to it. Now, I've got my black bean sauce here. Now this is the Korean style black bean sauce. It's not the same as the Chinese. It's similar, but it's not exactly the same. Now there is a version of this that they make in China, and you could definitely use. Anyway, I plan to try to make that one sometime in the future. I've got half a tablespoon of sugar, and I'm going to cook that with the black bean sauce. So I'm just going to put that right there. I've got 1 cup of water, and I need a tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to stir this up, and I'll clean up my mess I made. We're ready to start cooking here in just a second. Okay, we're going to start cooking our pork. We're not too worried about browning this up or anything. We're just going to kind of cook the outside of it is all that we're really doing here. Okay, now you can see this isn't quite cooked yet. It's just kind of got a little color on it. We're going to take this off and put it on a clean plate. Put our pan back on the heat. Put a little bit more oil in there. I don't need much more. Now, depending on how much fat your pork cooks out. You may not need to add any oil, or you may need to take some out. Now, go ahead, throw our onions in here. Throw our squash in. We're going to soften these up just a little bit. Alright, sorry about the bad lighting, but I can't really get my other good light to come over here and shine on this pan in this kitchen. Anyway, as you can see, this is developing a little bit of color. The onions are softening up a little bit. We're going to push all that to the side. There we go. Now this is kind of dry. I need a little bit of oil in there. Now we're going to take our black bean paste and our sugar, and we're going to put that right there, and we're going to fry this a little bit. We're going to take our pork and we're going to put that back in. Now that that's cooked for a minute or two, we're going to take our cornstarch and our water, and we're going to put that in. And this is going to thicken up, and basically all that we have to do now is simmer the sauce. Everything's in here, everything's done. We just got to bring it back up to a boil, let the cornstarch do its thing, get all the black bean paste mixed in real good. And then we'll let this simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how you want your veggies. I try to stick with close to 5-6 minutes. That way my vegetables are still a little bit firm. You can go longer if you want to. It's all up to you at that point. Okay, at this point my sauce is done. Now, you gotta stir it once in a while it cooks. Make sure it doesn't burn, stick to the bottom, all that good stuff. Now, if you're not happy with how thick your sauce is, because this may be a little thin for some people, if you want it thicker, just mix take about 1 tablespoon of water, or 1 or 2 tablespoons of water, put in about a teaspoon of cornstarch, and stir that in, and that'll thicken your sauce up. Now, I need to heat up my water. I had it warm before, but the stove is too small to have my pot for my water and my sauce on at the same time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this sauce back here, and then I'm going to get my water boiling. And whenever it starts boiling, I'm going to add my noodles. These are basically a fresh style noodle. They're nice and chewy. Anyway, let me get the water boiling again. Okay, now some of you may be wondering, since I'm only going to be cooking a few noodles, why do I have such a big pot? Well, the hotel room here, I had a choice of a really big pot or a tiny pot that wasn't big enough. So I went with a big pot. I don't have it full of water, I just got just enough water in there to do what I need to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 1 bundle of these noodles, put them in the boiling water, and we're going to cook them for a couple minutes until they get done. After I got that batch of noodles in the pot, I'm looking at them, and that ain't enough noodles for me. I'm gonna make double that. I'm gonna make basically half of that package. Okay, my noodles are done. Turn off the cold water. I got a colander sitting down there in the sink. Take my pot of noodles off. Put my pan of sauce on. I'm gonna rinse these noodles off. And They're real starchy right now. I don't like that. That'd be hot. If you wanted to hold these for a little while, you could rub a little sesame oil on them, keep them from sticking together. Okay, my sauce is bubbling again. We'll go ahead and turn that off. Put a little bit of sauce on the bottom. There we go. Get my noodles piled on there real good. Actually, that only used about half of my sauce. Yeah. A nice big pile of our cucumber on there. Now we're going to take our onion and our taekwondo, a little soy sauce, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of rice vinegar. I'm using brown rice vinegar. Okay, so first off, we'll take a little bit of our onion. We're going to dip that in our black bean sauce. Taekwondo. But the real story is, how does this taste? Yeah, that's good.